Morning guys, just dropped Arora off to school in the morning and she was telling me about something really vague, and I kept saying to her, Arora, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? And she couldn't find the words to explain what she meant by this vague term. And this got me thinking, this happens a lot in medical exam role plays. I used to do a lot of role plays for people preparing for things like CSA exam, PLAB 2 exam, GP stage 3 assessment. And often you're going to get hit by terms that are quite vague in a role play scenario, and we can end up losing a lot of time trying to understand what this vague term is. Or sometimes people make assumptions about what they think that vague term is, and then later on in the role play they realize it was nothing to do with what they thought. So I thought I'd do a really quick video on how to approach something when you get a vague line in a role play. Say for example you say to a patient, how can we help? Doctor, I've got this problem down below. Or doctor, I'm feeling a bit under the weather recently. Or doctor, things are just getting a bit too much right now. Now, these are vague terms. They can mean different things to different people. And often, like I said, either we waste a lot of time waiting for them to explain what they mean by repeatedly asking, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Can you clarify that more? Or we make an assumption, promise down below means this, and then later on we realize it's nothing to do with what we thought it would be. So when we talk about how to approach this in a role play scenario, we say, look, give them a single chance to clarify what it means. Give them a chance first, because they may be able to explain in more detail, and I'll give that opportunity first. So if someone says, doctor, I've got this problem down below, I turn it back to them. Mr. X, when people say problem down below, they can mean lots of different things. Do you mind just clarifying what do you mean by problem down below? Now they may explain, doctor, it means this, or this is my problem. Or that person comes in and says, doctor, I'm just feeling under the weather. Turn that back to them first. Mrs. X, when people say they're feeling under the weather, they can mean lots of different things. Can I just clarify, what do you mean by under the weather? Maybe she'll turn around and say, oh, I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling stressed, or I'm feeling anxious. It starts to take the story further. So I would give them one chance. I'd give them a single chance. When people say this, they mean different things. Can you clarify, what do you mean? If, however, they're still really vague in what they come out with their second line. Oh, doctor, problem down below, it's just that problem down below, and it's a bit embarrassing, but, it's just down below, doctor. Say on that second opportunity, they don't come back and give you something particular. Or, for example, you've asked the person who's under the weather what they mean. Oh, doctor, I don't know. I've just, last week I just felt really different to normal. I just feel that things are not quite right. Again, it's a bit of a vague answer. Then I would go in and jump in and say, look, is it X, Y, or Z? I would give them one chance to clarify what they mean. If you come across a vague term, it might be vague deliberately, or it might be vague because the person doesn't know how to explain it. Either way, give them one chance to clarify it. But if they don't continuously keep waiting for them to explain what they mean. You've got to sometimes go in and say, look, I know this is really difficult, but when people say problems down below, it could mean things like X, Y, or Z. Can I just clarify, is it any of these? Or when people say they feel under the weather, they could feel that they may be talking about their mood being a bit low, or they may be talking about feeling quite anxious, or things are a bit too stressful at the moment. Can I just clarify, is it any of these that you mean? Go in and say it yourself, because if you just keep saying, can you clarify, can you go into more detail, let me know more, tell me more, then you may just waste 3 or 4 minutes and still you're at the same point as when you got that very first line in the first place, which felt a bit vague. So when you're practicing, look out for this. Look out for the first line being quite vague. Give them an opportunity to open up first. Give them a chance to clarify once maybe, what do they mean by that? But if they still are quite vague, you've got to go in and start narrowing it down, because if you don't, then you're going to A, lose loads of time, or B, make an assumption about something and it ends up being something completely different. Now we do a lot more stuff like this on our immersion day courses, immersion CSA course, immersion PLAB 2 course, and our immersion GP stage 3 course. So have a look at the website auroramedicaleducation.co.uk to have a look and book onto one of those. We have loads more communication skills, consultation skills videos on our YouTube channel, Dr. Aman Arora, on Instagram, Dr._Aman_Arora, and our Facebook page, Dr. Aman Arora. Have a look at some of those if you're not watching it on those channels right now. Hopefully this brings some value to you. You guys know the hashtag CampPassWillPass, hashtag I went with Arora. Have a good day.